The Fourth Theory by Jade Thomas. What is the purpose for college? Well, Louis Menon set out to discover the answer and presents us with three theories in his article, Live and Learn. First theory people tend to believe that it doesn't matter which courses students take or even what is taught in them, all that matters is the grades. Second theory people might consider grades a useful instrument of positive or negative reinforcement, but the only thing that matters is what students actually learn. Third theory people believe that it is in high school that's aimed at the general learner, but college is where people are taught what they need in order to enter a certain vocation. I tend to agree with those theories, as most people can place themselves into one of those categories. I thought it would be fun to create a fourth theory, in which students' purpose for college was really determined subconsciously and shaped by the adults who were involved in our socialization process. In her book, Jen Sincero said this about a baby entering into the world. While you explored and expanded your new world, you also received messages from the people around you about the way things were. From the moment you could take it in, they started filling you up with a lifetime's worth of beliefs, many of which have nothing to do with who you actually are or what is necessarily true. Like these things. The world is a dangerous place. You're too fat. Homosexuality is a curse. Going to college is important. Being a musician or an artist is not a real career, etc. In Becoming a Learner, Matthew Sanders said this: the way you talk about education and learning matters. The words you use to describe and make sense of college matter. Meaning this: when we grow up, the first human interaction we have is with our family. Thus, their beliefs often become our own without us even realizing it. If Sanders is right, then the things we believe about education, whether good or bad, first come from our parents or the adults around us. If our parents speak highly of education, we will likely agree and trust what they say. If they speak negatively and shrug off the importance, that belief will probably become our own. In a study done by Inside Higher Education, they found that the children of parents without degrees were less likely to persist through and graduate from college or economic and social reasons. First-generation college students are more likely to be of a lower socioeconomic status, meaning they have less money to cover their college costs. They also didn't have the advantage of parents with college experience, who could guide them through the college process. 1/3 of first-generation students dropped out of college after 3 years, compared to 14% of their peers whose parents had earned a college degree. About 2/3 of the children of college graduates were set to graduate on time 3 years after enrolling, compared to 48% of first-generation students. In my first interview with a Boise State dropout who is still seeking education out of trade school, I asked, "You say your parents first told you about college. Would you say they spoke highly or negatively about it?" He said positive for sure. My parents basically said it's college if you want to be successful, and I just grew up knowing I needed an education if I wanted to make money or have opportunities. Both of my parents went, and they both enjoyed it. I found another study on Study International, which found that students with college-educated parents were also more likely to graduate, which the study attributed to social and economic reasons. Students without a parent who attended college would not have a parent with first-hand experience to guide them through college, which we also found was true in the first study. Additionally, they are more likely to come from a lower socioeconomic background, meaning less money to cover costs, so the higher chances of dropping out due to financial restraints. Just 14% of students with college-educated parents dropped out of college by the end of 3 years. However, around 1/3 of first-generation students dropped out. And here we can see in the blue, which represents the first-generation students, they fall lower in each category. In my second interview with a woman in her final year of graduate school to become a speech-language pathologist, I asked, "Would you say your parents influenced your decision to go to college?" She stated both parents went to college, talked about college, and that's just something that she was expected to do. After being asked what was most important in college, Megan stated that grades are most important because they show you have drive to succeed and an understanding of the knowledge you need. In graduate school, you must pass with a certain grade, so it's evident that you know the material. So what have we learned? We learned that how we hear about college and how it's talked about, or how we ourselves speak of education, really does matter. While our parents can influence our decision to attend college, we ultimately write our own stories. Let's encourage education with the next generation.